Hello, accountability buddies. I'm Les, and this is another episode of Less is More Healthy. I'm in the car running errands on a Saturday, which, if you've been around the channel for a hot minute or two, will feel very familiar to you. Um, Met Lowe's, getting some stuff for the garden, for the yard. It's No Mow May is over. Time to mow the lawn, get some plants in. Really excited to pick up some tomato plants and stuff for the yard. And then I gotta stop at Walmart and pick up some stuff. Gotta stop at the grocery store and pick up some stuff. So doing all that today. Um, as part of like doing my balance thing, I can't, as much as I would like to and would really like to do, uh, I can't spend every weekend day on the bike. I might do a short 5 mile ride where I include some of the hills as part of a loop. This is something that I've been working on for the last, I don't know, month or so. Is I've been doing these shorter training rides, which really paid off yesterday. Doing these shorter training rides and building up my mileage. But part of those training rides is adding hills to the training. Now, historically, I've hated hills, really struggled with hills. Um, but I've realized the more hills I do, the better my cardiovascular health has gotten. And also, the better the results are for long term blood glucose maintenance. So, this is delving into that type 2 territory. Um, so, over the winter, I gained back I gained back 10 pounds of the 30 that I lost, which weight loss has never been my goal with this. It's always been healthier, fitter, and all of that. But um, so yeah, I gained 10 pounds over the winter, and I've already lost 5 of those pounds in the last month. So already feeling better about my fitness, but also the cardio aspect of what I've been doing in adding hills to my routine towards my these training rides that I'm doing has been absolutely fantastic. Um, so yesterday is a real indication of how much that paid off. Yesterday I'd set out to do the rail trail, 20-mile round trip. However, when I got out on the road, traffic was bananas because I left a lot later. Usually I do the rail trail in the morning, so I can avoid both rail trail traffic, like in terms of people, dog walkers, other cyclists. Also, it's cooler on the rail trail in the morning, but also getting to the rail trail from my house because I ride from my house to the rail trail. Um, it Traffic, I have to go through a really dangerous intersection for 128, which anyone who lives in my area, that 128 intersection in Danvers, bananas. Um, and when I was headed out towards the street that heads out there, um, it was just too trafficy for me. A lot of traffic. I saw a lot of cars pulling into the bike lane. I was just like, not today. So I reset everything and I decided to do the Beverly Salem loop that I'd set up for myself instead. And the Beverly Salem loop includes the hill sections that I do as part of my commute. So I put those, I did that on purpose for that loop as part of like a training loop. Also, the 17 miles of that loop are, um, that's less than my commute to work round trip. So, doing those hills repeatedly in the training that I've been doing for myself meant that the hills that I did yesterday, I was able to accomplish them and not feel awful with it. So, generally speaking, when I've done the Bridge Street Hill series, I really feel rough at the end of it. The first time I did it, I lost my breakfast. This time, I've been able to do the Bridge Street Hill series without losing my breakfast and feeling pretty good at the end of it. I do this at least once a weekend, usually several times a weekend, and it just felt really good. So part of this loop is I do the short, shallow Bridge Street Hill, the first part, and then I hit the Kernwood descent, and then these are the Strava names for these things. And then there's a like pretty steep incline after that, and then I cut through a cemetery. And that series always did me in, but I'm feeling so much better doing it that I didn't feel awful at the end of that hill. It just felt pretty good. Um, and then, I did the 114 descent and then the hill into Salem, and that just felt really good too. Normally, I feel really rough when I do that. So clearly, adding hills into my training routine is paying off. So the worst part of this loop is the final ascent into Beverly over the Beverly Salem Bridge. And you hit that hill, it's really steep, and then there's this beautiful descent into Beverly, and it was great. I really enjoyed hitting that hill. The hill itself was rough. The gearing on the G1 is not for hill climbing, but because I don't have the granny gears that I had on the Kona, you got to suffer through it. You got to push through it, right? And I just felt pretty good doing it. And yeah, so at the end of the ride, I feel pretty like today is the day after. I feel pretty good. My lower back, obviously, I need to do some more strength training. My lower back is a little sore. Nothing a little ibuprofen or Tylenol is not gonna take care of. Not even muscle soreness. Like my legs feel really good. My arms feel really good. Just a little bit of lower back muscle soreness. Um, that'll ease out in a over today. So yeah, pretty stoked about that ride, feeling really good. It's really like just built my confidence. Really built my confidence in this gearing. I am going to change the gearing a little bit. It's going to include all of the gearing that's currently on it. Um, but include some lower gearing for those descents so I can maintain my pedaling as I go downhill. Also, some gearing for hill climbing. I'm gonna gain some of those grainy gears back. I did get a new wheel set that has the Shimano HG hub on it. We're gonna see how they are. I don't think they're much of a weight savings at all. Um, I might look into like some lighter weight wheels next year. This I've just decided that this bike is going to be a long-term project for me. It's not going to be like a one-off. I'm going to maintain this bike, I think, for a couple of years. Um, but anyway, yeah, the bike just went really, really well. I feel really, really good. One of the things that I'm noticing now that I'm pushing myself to do the hills in this non-granny gearing is that I am feeling like my cardiovascular health is getting better. So like I've noticed my resting heart rate has gone down. Um, and that's awesome. That's really, really awesome. Also, as I have been riding more longer rides, and including those hills with the cardio on them, I've noticed that my blood sugar levels maintain again. This is something that I mentioned last year. I was kind of surprised about. Generally speaking, like throughout a ride, my blood sugar levels pretty much are like level off. I've got some. This is a whole other episode about like energy drinks and things like that. How do you maintain your carbs and your blood sugar on a ride? Not a doctor. These are just my experiences as someone with type 2 diabetes. But what I've noticed is post ride, for at least a full day after a ride, my blood sugar numbers really just maintain. I woke up this morning, my blood sugar was in the 90s, and that was I took my blood sugar less than an hour after I took my diabetes medication. So usually like it takes a couple of hours for that to like reduce the blood sugar. Um, but the ride itself is I think what is really maintaining my blood sugar numbers, which is really exciting. I'm super excited about that aspect of all of this. And Um, that's been great. So, um, yeah, if you are looking to maintain your blood sugar numbers, riding a bike is a great way to do it. Doing some hill climbs, they suck, but it's a great way to do it. So anyway, feeling super stoked, feeling more confident about my riding and my bike. Um, Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.